Anyone here watch Shark Tank?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, who's your favorite Shark Tank cast
Shark
member?
It's a
Who's your favorite shark? Thank you for that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mark Cuban, Kevin O'Leary.
No, he didn't
like
say name the sharks. He said, "What's your favorite shark?" This guy.
Robert Corker and
Yeah,
Laurie.
top two.
yeah,
Those are my
yeah,
top
yeah.
two.
Those
I
are your
can't have two
guys.
of them.
All right, fine.
How about you?
Mark Cuban is my favorite shark.
You know what? I would say Cuban too. But now after this guest speaker, I got a new favorite.
You got a soft spot?
I got a soft spot because this guy crushed it. I'm talking about the people's shark, Damon John. He was the guest speaker. He opened up this conference. You know, he's founded FUBU, hip hop, fashion, clothing.
Yeah.
Now he's a multi-millionaire on Shark Tank, Damon John. So he spoke at this thing. Let me tell you something about Damon John. Dude can tell some stories. Dude's got some flow. He's got inspiration. He's got comedy. He's got humor. He's got some tugging on the heartstrings. The guy brought a DJ. Guy brought a freaking DJ to fick mix it up while he's talking. His shit was on point. It was just actually a really good speech and presentation. You bring a DJ to your speech,
Yeah, that's
you ain't
killer.
playing around. Okay? So he came correct. And more than anything, we talk about confidence is key. When you're giving a speech, you know about this with stand-up comedy, relatability. Relate to the audience. Audience interaction. Crowd participation. Dude had it going on. I'll give him that. And he actually told a funny story about how when he was, you know what FUBU stands for? You know that's his company, right? FUBU?
Yeah.
Do you know what it stands for?
No.
No.
No, none of you.
Zero.
Okay, so he grew up in New York. He was in hip hop. He was in fashion. He was trying to make his way into the hip hop, predominantly a black audience, obviously. So FUBU stands for us, by us. That was his thing. But did you know that before FUBU, it was BUFU? Okay, by us, for us. Okay, and he told this funny joke that the girl he was dating at the time, her brother was gay, and he'd always be very, gay.
As gay people are.
Yeah, whatever. And he was basically saying, what's this BUFU stuff? And he's, that's my brand, buy us for us. He goes, well, in the gay community,
Yeah.
BUFU stands for something else. You can do the math on what BUFU stands for.
I knew this was going to get sexual.
Okay, it's not sexual at all. Well, yeah, obviously when I brought the gay thing. But so he said, do you know what I'm saying? No. But
Don't say that.
yeah.
Don't say that.
I'm not going to say it. I'm not saying it. But
Don't you
anyway,
say that.
he changed it to FUBU. The rest is history. And now we're watching him on Shark
Yes,
Tank.
and aren't you guys glad that you got that little snippet? I mean, aren't you guys?
Anyway, but it just shows that's marketing right there. Awareness. So he had FUBU. Now he's making a killing. He's on Shark Tank. He's doing his thing. And he says that he's got 5 keys to success.
Who is this?
This is Damon John, the people's shark.
Shark
Is he
Tank,
up on the screen?
Shark
How's he
Tank
not up on the
legend.
screen,
Oh,
David?
yikes.
Holy shit, asleep at the wheel. Damon John.
Yeah.
There he
I
goes.
was so captivated by your.
Well, the BUFU.
But yeah.
FUBU
Carry on.
is his brand. And he's got 5 keys to success, and he spells them out with like an acronym, SHARK. SHARK for our spelling inept people out there. And these are the 5 keys to success according to the People's Shark Damon John. Number 1, S for shark. S is to set a goal. We talk about this all the time. Number 1, with your finances, have a game plan for your money, have a budget, have a business plan, whatever it is. For the People's Shark, it's to set a goal. For him, he wanted to make it in the fashion world with a little bit of hip hop vibe. That was his goal. Okay. And he said, no excuses. Straight up. This is what I'm accomplishing. I don't give a shit. I'm working on it. I'm grinding. He told stories about selling clothes out of the back of his trunk, working on the corner on the block, going up, not being shy, going up to LL Cool J, begging him to do a commercial. Turns out LL believed in him. LL gave him allowed him to take a photo with him, and the rest was history. I mean, after years and years of working on it. But basically, the dude set a goal. He worked on it. And then he just said, watch them unfold. Like Marcelo, your goal is to become one of the biggest comedians in the world and the biggest Latin comedian in the world. Is that not your goal at some point? It's probably a 10-year goal.
Sure.
right?
Yeah.
Like you're not doing this to be a normal everyday comedian.
No.
You've got a goal.
Right.
And now you're watching it unfold. I met you when you were 19. You told me you were 21 at the time.
Yeah.
Nice.
You're 19, now you're 24. He had a goal to become a big-time comedian. Now he's literally touring the country with some of the biggest comedians on the planet. He had a goal. He worked on it, and now he's watching it unfold.
Right.
This is true. This is true facts.
More work to be done.
More work to be done. More work to be done. And look at you now.
Speaking of which, what's the next one?
Speaking of more work to be done, the H in Shark is to do your homework, right? Basically, he said, listen, nothing's new. Nothing is new. It's all just updated. And he gave a list of things that, you might think that this is new. That's just, they did that back in the day. And just basically worked on all these things that you think are new, but they're not, okay?
Right.
So he's saying, do your research. Look at data. Look at data. Data or data?
Yes.
Data.
Which one
data.
is it?
Yes.
I say
Thank you.
data.
I think data too. And take inventory of where you're at. So do your homework, okay? You think we just show up to this podcast loosey-goosey style and wing it? It's half homework, half confidence.
100%.
There it is.
And we look at it. You look at what your performance, you look at how you're doing, you look at how the people are reacting.
The give a fuck level is real.
That's right. And no matter what business you're in, you can look at data, right? You can look at
Or data.
qualitative
I would look at data.
Yeah. You can find out, get some feedback.
Thank you, young men. Number 3 on the Shark, if you're spelling S-H-A, I see what he did here, is amor, for love.
Oh, he had to go to
Love.
Spanish.
You see he went Spanish there, or Italian.
Como
Italian.
estás?
Innovative.
Como estás? He says you gotta love what you're doing. If you don't love what you're doing, you could do it for a year, you can do it for 2 years, a couple years. And at some point, you say, I just don't want to be doing
Give a
this.
shit level goes.
Give a shit level, David. The give a shit level.
Right.
Thank you for that.
Also, Seinfeld has a legendary quote about this. He says that you can't do comedy for the money because you'll get the money relatively quickly, and then what is your motivation? So like the idea that, let's say you're going to try to become a comedian and after 5 years or 5 to 8 years, let's say you're paying your rent with comedy, you're touring this, you're doing this and that. Now, what's your ambition to look for more? It's
Right.
like, if you're in it for the money and you're already surviving, then that's it. Then you're kind of done.
Yeah.
So it's like, you can't do it for the money. You got to do it because you love it.
You'll see we're going to get to that in a second. So also, in addition to gotta love what you're doing, it's the who do you love? Like, what's your motivation for him? He told a story about his 2 daughters. He would do anything for them. Neither of us have kids that I know of, but at some point we're all going to be fathers, we're going to be husbands, what have you. Who are you doing this for? Right now we're doing this just for ourselves.
Right.
Right? So that's his thing. Amor, love what you're doing, and who are you doing it for? R, remember where you came from. Remember that you are the brand, and to know yourself. Remember who you are is basically what it is. He's basically saying, we talked about an elevator pitch in the last segment. Be able to summarize your brand in 2 to 5 words. All we talk is money. Save that money. That's my brand. Marcelo, what's your brand? Comedy
Jokes,
in 2 to 5
baby.
words.
Jokes, mi amigo.
Jokes, mi amigo.
Amigo.
I don't know.
I like that, but
Yeah.
work on that.
Jokes, brother. Yeah, right. 100%.
Work on that. 5 words or less. David.
I don't know. I haven't figured it out yet.
Well, you
what's
work
my
on
brand?
that. So for everyone out there that's working on a brand, working on your personal brand, 2 to 5 words. This is what he says. And this is something interesting. Speaking of knowing your brand, know yourself, knowing who you want to be, knowing what you want to do. He says, and he gave a little peel behind the curtain of Shark Tank. He says, we don't invest in companies. We invest in people. The people business. We're all in the people business. Okay? So R, remember who you are, remember what you stand for, and remember you are the brand, Marcelo. Jokes, mi amigo.
Yes, baby.
And letter K for our people following along is to keep swimming. This is a little sentimental part of it. It's more life advice than business advice. He's saying, look, life is short, and it can be shorter than you even know. He says at one point he didn't really. This wasn't public knowledge. He had throat cancer, and he had something going on in his throat. Let's just call it that. And he said he almost died of cancer. And he's basically saying you got to keep swimming, and in order to do that, you got to take care of yourself. Don't be sloppy, aka right.
Right.
Get physicals. Get some blood work done. I know that all too well. It's not so much just what's going on the outside. Get some blood work done. If you haven't had blood work done, get that done. And then he says, look, while you're keeping swimming, you talked about not doing it for the money. What's your purpose? What's your motivation? He says, like, what does success really mean to you? And for him, it wasn't the money. It wasn't being on Shark Tank. It wasn't buying businesses. It wasn't social media likes. For him, as we talked about earlier, it was his 2 daughters and family. So what's the point of all this? Shark, right? Set a goal. Do your homework. Amor, for love. Love what you do. Remember who you are, and you are the brand. And K, keep swimming, playa. And at the end of this, he says, like, what's your why? Why are you doing this? So I always talk about, you don't retire anymore. You're just what's called chilling. You own your time. No matter, you could be 30 and chilling, or you might be 80 and chilling. But at the end of the day, know you're chilling. Know your why. What's your legacy? A lot of people, family, legacy. They want to travel the world. They want to work on stuff they're passionate about, donate their time. But the big one is legacy. And when we're lucky enough to have a family one day, that'll take care of itself. Thoughts on the People's Shark, Daymond John?
Man, a lot to take away from it. Definitely puts things in perspective. The way he kind of breaks things down. I love that he used shark as an acronym for it. Yeah, Daymond John. Honestly, at the beginning of this, I said Mark. I gave 2 people.
Yeah.
He's now my favorite shark.
Wow. Yeah, and I do agree that I like how he did the Amor thing, because it could have been Schlurk. But he said
That's
Amor.
not catchy. Yeah, and
no,
it doesn't go with
Schlurk.
shark.
No, Shark. Amor, love.
Talk is money. All we talk is money.
If you enjoyed that short clip from the Sozcast, click here to watch another, click here to watch the full episode, or just stay broke.